Hello, hello. Welcome to Me Time with Mind Escape Vibe, where it is your time to be kind to your mind. I am super excited today because I have a twofer. So, Juantia is a great friend of mine. She actually does all the photos, everything that I've been doing and moving and shaking with Mind Escape Vibe, my logo, all of that. She's done that. And before my podcast, we did a live on Instagram. So this is like a second interview with Juantia. Yes. That's why it's a twofer.
It's a twofer, yes. I'm excited.
For the podcast. So I'm going to just take a step back. Juantia, why don't you introduce yourself to the Me Timers?
Well, hey. I'm Juantia. Let's see, where do I begin? First of all, I'm a wife. I'm a mom of 3 young adults, and I am just a creative being. I love creating things, and I see the world a little bit different than other people.
A lot of creatives do.
Yes.
The logo that you guys are seeing right now with the ponytail up in the corner on the right side, Juantia did that. Yes. Some of my logos, all of that. So I'm super excited to have her on. Before we get started, I want you to share Mental Victory Vibe Celebration and your theme song, girl. So with your Mental Victory Vibe Celebration, what have you done? An activity, just a moment that you've taken for yourself just to kind of fill your cup.
When I need to take a step back and regroup myself, I just sit quiet, or I do something creative that I love to do, like my paintings that you see back there. Or I'll take my camera outside and photograph anything, even the lizards.
I've seen your photos of lizards.
Yeah. I mean, they outside. I was like, well, why not?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And my song is by Lauren Daigle. Hopefully, I'm saying her last name right. But it's called You Say.
You Say.
You Say. Mm-hmm. And why I chose this song is because we get into our heads too much where we don't think we're enough. Mm-hmm. We don't think we can get things done on our own. And we need to get to the point where we change that a mindset and say, hey, you are good enough. You can do it. And I know you can. So this is why this song is good for me.
I know that's right. We are enough. And being enough is a singular event. It doesn't take a whole bunch of people for that to happen. Right. So it's work. It's definitely work, because there are some days where you just question it. I know I still question it, and I have to bring myself back.
Right. Exactly. And we just have to remember that we are all individually made, and we all have different talents, different everything, and what you're given is enough for you. It's enough for you. So work with what you got.
You dropping gems already. She said work with what you got.
Yes. It was given to you, so you got to work with it,
My mother used to say, when we were little, she used to be in the kitchen cooking, and we would be in the front, and she'd say, shake what your mama gave you. And when you said, work with what you got, that popped in my head. Shake what your mama gave you.
Oh my God, you starting already, okay? Oh, but I must tell you about this book that I had read, which is easy, really easy to read. And if you're doubting yourself of what you can get done, I suggest this book. Okay, I have it right in front of me.
Strongest Secret?
The Strangest Secret.
Oh.
Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Okay. I am with a book club for the Pink Millionaire Club, and this book right here, it's short, it's sweet, to the point, very interesting, and I just got to show you this thing. It says believe and succeed right there. You see it?
It's just giving you gems right there. You mentioned something that I'd like to talk more about, and I definitely want you to share with the me timers, the Pink Billionaires Club.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that membership and what that club is about and what they do.
Oh my gosh. It is an awesome mentorship for women. Only women. It's biblically, what do you call it? Principles. She used biblical principles to give you different ways to achieve financial freedom using different platforms and things and so forth and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but when you're in it, you'll understand. She brings everything full circle for you. And that's another reason why my mindset has been changed.
Okay.
It's because of the things that she's teaching us. And oh my God.
Well, that's a great segue, because I'd like to know based on that and what you're learning in the club, what have you done or considered developing to have healthier habits and beliefs? Because I know that limiting beliefs can hold you back. You will either avoid or procrastinate. So what have you done to circumvent that?
Let's see. What have I done? First of all, in the morning, start in the morning with yourself. In a positive mind, wake up. Start thanking God for everything you have.
Gratitude.
Everything. The little things to big things, I don't care. Thank Him for everything that you can think of at that possible moment. And even before you get on your phone, scroll social media, or even step your foot out of bed, start with gratitude. And I know
I'm big on it.
Big on that.
I'm big on it.
And once I've heard you start bringing that in, I'm like, man, there's something to this.
It changes the whole perspective on how you see things.
It does. It does. And when you practice more gratitude, you'll see that more things are coming easier to you. And it's not a struggle anymore like it used to be. And being in that club has totally transformed my mind. And I think Nicole Smith-Jackson, 100% of the U-turn, for the direction. So it's not all about money. It's all about how you think about it and how you can look it up in the scriptures as well. So she just brings everything full circle for you. And if you're never heard of her, go look her up on social media, and even click the link in my Linktree and connect with me. And
that's right.
I can get you in touch with whoever you need to talk to about joining this club. And it's amazing for all women.
I love it. So that segues too into survive versus thrive. Because we're primal human beings. So we are innate and hardwired to survive. We got to do immediately it starts. But you want to thrive too.
You want to thrive. You don't want to just survive.
So what are some of the strategies that you've put in place to kind of balance out that mindset? Because the survival mode will never go away. We are primal human beings. We are innate hardwired to just survive, to do what we got to do to survive. What strategies have you put in place to thrive more and to even take that step back and see? I know we talked about gratitude, because gratitude does that, but what other strategies would you say work well for you in that regard?
rethink. Stop and rethink. Because the first thing we do is kind of get into this panic mode.
Yes.
And it doesn't help anything. Stop, rethink, and spread it all out and look at what you got to solve that problem that you're dealing with. Because if you don't, all you're going to do is you just go about it in a scatterbrained kind of way, and it just causes more chaos than to actually help you get through what you need to get through.
Saboteur kicks in. Naysayer starts to visit. All of those things happen. I love how you take a step back, lay it all out, breathe. I always say that. Take a deep breath.
Yes, Just Breathe, sis, is one of my Facebook groups, and I created that group because I knew how women were not like supporting each other.
Oh yeah.
And so I created this group so that we can support each other. And if I have an idea of something that I'm struggling with, I put that up as a post, and I put up solutions for that. And then I say, hey, this is this and whatever. You got this. You can do this. Just keep going, keep striving. It's all about encouragement and kind of refocus you on not the issues that you're dealing with, but the solution, and get out of that panic mode that we always go into. So.
Oh yes, I mean panic mode can start from something just as small as not being able to find your keys to get in the car.
I'm telling you.
Right?
Right.
Can't find your keys. You're like,
or
what is going on?
Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses? And you're going crazy, but you just stop. Relax. Breathe and go through it again. And it's like, okay, now I got this figured out. But I might not have everything A to Z figured out, but I can take one thing at a time and move forward.
Yeah, I have an affirmation card that says it's okay not to have all the answers, because it is.
It is. Okay. But there's always ways to find it. It doesn't have to come from you all the time. So you need to stop, breathe, rethink, lay it all out, and find that solution that you need.
I love it. So let's talk a little bit about abundance and goal setting. And I like to align this with self-care and self-regulation, because I do believe that both align with leadership. And how abundance and goal setting, it can be as small as one thing at a time on the list, taking that step back and formulating a plan. Or it can be as big as, I have this big dream, and never letting it go and constantly striving for it. And we see that all the time on social media. I mean, a great example is Tabitha Brown. Like Tabitha Brown, she said she was striving for her goal, and she kept going and she kept going 20 years. And she got it. I love sis. I love sis. So what do you have for us around that with abundance and goal setting as it relates to like income options, and for moms, even entrepreneurs who want to do something else or thinking about it, emerging adults, young ladies that's like, I always wanted to do something.
Right. Well, first you need to lay down what your goals are. You need to point that out. Write it down. Again, I'm going to go back to Nicole Smith Jackson. She says, write down your vision and make it plain, something like that. So you have to write it down to actually look at it. So write down your goals. And then start dwindling down from the big goal and write down the smaller goals that will get you to that big goal. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. How can you relate that to one of your businesses? Because I know you have multiple business funnels. Can you relate that to one of your businesses and how you did that?
Right. So at this time, because I'm a caregiver to my youngest child, I am not able to get out as much as possible to do my photography business full time. Okay. But that doesn't keep me out of my goal of eventually having a studio of my own. But in the meantime, I start with my smaller goals. I'll do anything creative as far as doing the logos, digitally creating things online that I can sell, and it's still in that creative realm. It's just not out and about photographing the way I want to. So those things will eventually all end up being where I want to be as far as opening up that portrait studio that I want. So
the big goal is the portrait studio.
It is the portrait studio.
I'm gonna be all up and through that studio. Let me just tell you something. Me and Rain coming.
Okay. She ready.
She always ready.
She ready.
If she could pose, she'd be like.
She was posing. I love her. She was just all for it. But the main goal, yes, just set smaller goals that will eventually lead you to your bigger goals. You can use money from your little small goals to put towards the bigger goals. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so that's I guess the way that that's the way I'm not just surviving, but I'm thriving. It may not be exactly where I want to be, but I'm striving and thriving towards that bigger goal that I have for myself and my business.
I love it.
Caregiver, I still have to bring in some kind of income for myself.
I love it. Let's talk about that. Let's get more into that because we have some caregivers listening that are going to listen to this podcast, mm-hmm. and every day is a different challenge for them.
It is.
What advice would you have for them to lift them up and to keep them going? And maybe they should be joining your Sis Breathe Facebook group.
Yes. You know, because sometimes we can get off goal and go off task, but being a caregiver, my main focus is my son. Okay, I don't even think of me at that moment, even though I know we still need to take our time to refocus and refresh and all that good mm-hmm. stuff. And using even some of your tools have been very helpful.
Thank you. You know, yes. I got you, girl. I got you, girl. I'm that friend, just in case y'all know.
Even some little posts that you do sometimes is very helpful. You just got to take a moment and, regroup mm-hmm. when you get overwhelmed. It's okay to ask for help.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
It's okay to ask for help.
Okay, it is not, you don't have to do it all by yourself. You're not in it all alone.
No, you have your support people, which I do have my husband, my oldest son, my daughter, and if I need a moment, like, hey, I need somebody to watch your brother. I mean, can you come watch your brother so I can go out with my girls for a drink, or for a meal, or something. Or for a laugh. It doesn't even matter. At this point, if they call me and say, hey, I'm going to the park, guess what? I'm going to the park with them.
I know that's right.
Just to get a break, but when you put them first, as far as the person you're caring for, you just have to make sure you do take some time for you to refocus. And it's okay. It's okay to refocus, to take a minute.
It is okay.
Don't feel bad about it, ever.
Without guilt or shame.
No guilt, no shame. Because you need to refocus. to take care of you so you can come back refreshed and be able to continue to do what you need to do for them. So
be present in the moment and savor those moments.
exactly.
It may not be something that you wish you were doing at that time. However, still be present.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves that
Yeah.
time of your presence. It's kind of like I say to my grandson all the time. When I was launching Mind, Caleb was like, Grandma, I want to come over. Grandma, are you going to call me today? Grandma. And I was like, hey, give Grandma a minute. Because when you're here, I don't want to say, go watch TV. I want to be present. I want to savor every moment with you. And he was like, do that mean we're going out to eat? We did go. But I understand that.
And as you know, on the other side of it, being a caregiver, you still need your income to come in, and it's okay to have more than one avenue. So I'm telling you guys, if you have more than one idea, it's okay. Go for it, because you have to pull your income the way you need it.
How did you start to formulate your ideas? Did you do research? What if we have someone listening that has an idea but just don't know where to start? What would you recommend?
What would I recommend to start? First, like I said again, write it down.
Write it down. Hear that? Write it down. Step 1, write it down.
Just write it down, because you got to start there. Then look up some stuff. Look on social media to see who has something familiar to what you want to do. And man, you can Google everything.
Google University.
And YouTube everything. Okay, and then start researching and see if you can find out. The other person that you're looking at might have some tips and tricks of things that they did, and you can learn from their experience as well. Find you a mentor. Like seriously, find you a mentor and go from there.
So write it down, do some research, and find a mentor. And in your local area, go to your small business association. I went there. My business plan, everything that I thought I knew, I didn't know. And they introduced me to free resources, not to mention just being around like-minded people. Right. Because a mentor is great to have, but it's also nice to have a community.
Correct. That's the other thing. A community is amazing. I may not be a part of a big community, but I have people that's in my corner that I can go to, talk to, business-minded people, friends, and people that don't mind to collaborate with me to help me along the way. And there's a lot of people in your life like that. You just gotta, be okay with asking questions. Be okay to learn more from other people. Don't close yourself off. Go to them.
Did y'all hear that? Don't close yourself off. I just wanted to repeat that, Juantia, because I didn't want anybody to miss that message.
Don't close yourself off, because there's a lot of things that you can learn from a lot of different people. And for you as well, somebody may come to you. You might have knowledge that you can pass along to them. And, it's okay to help another person as well. Yes. And again, that it comes back to you. So you give it away, it comes right back to you. So, but if you're holding on to it, guess what? You're closing yourself off from all the things that you could be receiving.
I love it. I love it so much. So you're really just saying be open.
Be open.
We had, I, believe it or not, I know guys, don't be shocked. I am really an introvert. Don't be shocked, y'all. Don't be shocked. I know I get on here and be cutting up sometimes, but I am. And when I started Mind, I was terrified because I was so used to being behind the scenes, not really saying much. I was always paying attention to what was going on, but never really said anything.
I'm the quieter observer, for sure.
Yes.
And I know I do that a lot in the mentorship program that I am in with the Pink Millionaire Club. I'm pretty much an observer. But when it comes to other things, like when I'm talking to you, it's like, okay, it's like normal. It's like, oh, she's my friend, so it ain't a big deal. So and I can talk to you freely, and I talk to other people freely. But sometimes I'm not a talker at all.
So start small. It was a tip in that, guys. The tip is, if you're terrified, if you're like, oh, I really don't know, I kind of like to keep to myself, just start out. It's okay to be an observer.
Yeah.
Start small.
Start small.
Small steps are still progress.
It is. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. It's like, oh, but I ain't moving. But mentally you are. You just, it's not just pointed out to you like, bam,
Oh, yeah, I was terrified. I was so terrified. I can remember my first blog. I held on to my first blog post for 4 months. One day, yes, I probably sent it to 20 people to read it. They read it. Renee posted. Renee. I was, okay. And one day, I woke up and I said, I am going to post, and I just hit send. And the walls didn't fall down. The earth didn't shatter. No one was beating on my door saying, why did you post this? And I was like, wait a minute. This is so bad.
Right. Sometimes you just have to step out there on faith and just do what you need to do. And that's exactly what you did. It's like, okay, whatever. Press send.
Faith bigger than me. I love it. That's something on my list. I got a list of bullet points here. Let's talk about faith. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Because
I feel like it is so important, and it's part of my genetic makeup. Mm-hmm. So sometimes, things don't always go your way, but you just got to have the faith, and you got to just keep going. And let's talk about that as it relates to your enterprise, because it's not just company. It's St. Louis Enterprises, which I love. Okay. And let's talk about how that relates as a caregiver as well, because as one of my friends, like, your faith is you have so much faith that it just oozes off and slides on to other people. And our faith, yes, and my faith grows and grows more when I'm with you and in your presence. So let's talk about that, because, honey, we got to spread some of that out to some of these listeners, because they need it right now.
Right. Like, before, I would tell you, like, maybe 4 to 6 months ago, I would not have been so calm ever. I was like operating in panic mode so much. But going to the Word, reading the Word every day, every morning, saying my prayers, being thankful all the time, that faith has helped me to calm myself. So even though in my mind I may not be exactly where I want to be, but I know I'm moving towards that goal. And in the meantime, he gives me a calm, a peace about it all. So
yes.
So one day you might not have any sales, but you're not going to panic about it.
The story I always lean on, and it actually helped me a lot during this process. So Sarah Jakes Roberts, when she started her clothing line, she posted. She had a post on Instagram where she said she posted 0 sales today. And she was like, but that's okay, because I know it's going to be all right. And I saved that post. Mm-hmm. And when I started Mind and things
Okay.
were not like, it was going super slow, I would go back and read it. Sarah Jakes Roberts got me through because I didn't forget that. That's stuck in my mind. And I think about it all the time. I go right back to that post and I read it.
Right. Because it's encouraging. So I'm just letting you all know that some days you'll have no cells. Some days you'll have 10 cells. But you don't panic when you don't have it. Just keep your faith and keep going. Starting St. Louis Enterprise was huge for me because I wanted to make everything legit. I wanted everything to be streamlined, so I do all my crafts and things. This is my creative corner, by the way.
Is that where you make my scalp hot oil treatment? Because girlfriend.
Yes.
Girlfriend,
Exactly.
we gonna talk about that too, but I just was holding back.
But yes, you want to make sure everything is streamlined, and that way you're doing business in an upright way, and it brings more trustworthiness to your company when you make it official. And so have your faith and just keep moving forward and go for it.
Yeah, and research, ask questions, visit your small business association, get a mentor. If entrepreneurship is not the avenue you want to go down, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Whatever it is you're choosing to do, find some like-minded people. And it starts with having a mentor, because I call a mentor an accountability advocate.
Exactly. Guess what? Most likely your mentor has done it already. And they
been there,
can
done
tell
that.
you how to do it better without the stress.
And it's not a reprimand. It's not judgment. They're really guiding you in the right direction. Especially when I was in corporate America, I had a mentor. The days would go crazy. I would be so down and out on myself, but it would be Chris that would bring me back and say, "Hey, what are you doing?
Right.
No. You need to rethink this." She would level me out. She was very level-headed, and I would be bouncing all over the place. She'd be like, "Let me bring you back in because you just all over the place."
Right.
And I'm grateful for her. I am so grateful for her.
And they can keep you from making the bigger mistakes that like they did. So a mentor can teach you all kinds of things. And I'm so grateful for my mentor and the sisterhood that came with it. So if I can't get to her, I can get to the other women in the community and ask questions. And they have become more of an accountability partner too. It's like, wow. It's
nice to have.
It's nice to have.
It is nice to have.
I had a question, and they're like, "Oh, okay. Let me see if I can help." Or they ask me a question, and so we, bring accountability to each other.
I love it. I love it so much.
Having a mentor is very vital to your business and whatever you do.
It reminds me too of, you remember the first time I vended at an event? It was Black Girls in the Woods, and it was in 2022, the tail end. So I go, I got my self-love wheel. I'm ready. I got my QR code. I didn't have a table and a chair to the first. I get there and the young ladies just embrace me. They're like, "Nope, you got to always have a table and a chair." And they loaned me a table. They loaned me a chair, and we went from there. And then they kept educating me. You got to do this. You got to keep up with this. Next time, try this. And I was so grateful for that because I just did not know.
Love it. And so, let's see, what else? St. Louis Enterprise. I do different many things. And so I create that LLC so I can funnel everything through that same LLC.
What are your businesses, Juantia? The inquiring minds want to know.
Okay, so we have In Your Face Photography, of course. I get up and close and personal and get that picture, photographs, and according to your personality, this is how we work. I talk with you, I take you out, we venture out, and we just find you in your images. You know what I'm saying? And I point out the things that you don't see. I see the beauty that you don't see, or you refuse to see, because sometimes people's like, I'm like, no, that's it right there, girl. You look good. What you talking about?
Those photos, my photos, I love them. I love. Juantia walked in my house and said, "You done had all these photos. I don't see not one of your photos up."
Oh yes, you gotta put some on that wall. You gotta update your wall, honey. But yes, and then okay, so with that, I have the Artsy Empress. That is the avenue for my paintings.
Okay.
It is for my digital creations on Etsy, which are like mugs, shirts, stuff like that. Even digital downloads. And then also I started to do the hot oil treatments for the hair.
Let's talk about that. Let's spend a minute on that. Let me just say, let's spend a minute on that, because this is my testimonial right here.
Okay.
Let's spend a minute on that.
Well, so the hot oil treatment is something that's really, really good for your scalp, of course. And using natural oils and things like that for your hair is always best, especially for us who love to do protective styles. So after I take these out, I'm going to do my hot oil treatment. After I get myself a good scratch, hot oil treatment, and then I'm going to take it out, wash it, and get it all ready to go, because I am 100% natural. And those oils, they be helping the girl's scalp out, okay?
Yes. So I have the hot oil treatment, and so this is actually how it came about. We were at an event, and she gave me a sample, and I'm like, okay, cool. I start using it first. The lemon. The lemon.
The
yes.
lemongrass. Yes. It's just sitting on my counter, and I can smell it.
Yes, and how soft my hair is. So at the top is definitely a protective style, but in the back, my hair texture is a little different from the texture of my hair at the top. What the hot oil treatment does, especially for the back of my hair, because sometimes it gets a little drier than the top portion, it has not. So I did a hot oil treatment. Today is Friday. I probably did it like Monday or two, and my scalp is still moisturized.
It looks so good.
Thank you. And let me tell you, I bought two, because I started not to give one to Keon, but I did. I started to keep them both for myself. Keon finds a way to find things and say, can I have this? Yes. It is phenomenal. It is really phenomenal. I don't have the itchy scalp. You know, you walking around doing this. None of that is going on.
Right. And you won't have like, when we do the protective style, a lot of people use like a lot of edge control and gels and stuff like that. That creates the buildup on your scalp. And so when you scratch it, you get the dandruff because of this buildup that's on your scalp. And this oil, after you do your scratching or whatever, you do the hot oil treatment, it kind of get like, hold on, let me get you straight real quick, sis. And that's what that oil does. It like get it straight. It takes that
itch away. You're not pop. Yeah. And ladies, I know it's some ladies that understand what I'm saying. You know, you walking down the street and you like,
yes.
You know, that's the pat scratch.
Right.
You know.
So this oil kind of gets your head scalp straight. I'm still working on my label, but I'm gonna get it out. I swear.
I love it. I love it, Juantia. I do. And I was like, when I started to get low, I was like, I panicked. And then I thought, wait a minute. She lives locally. It won't take that. Next day, I had it. So I was so happy, because I was like,
it came that quick?
Yeah, I had it the next day.
That's awesome. Thank you, SPS.
I absolutely love it. Yes. I love it. Love what it does for the scalp.
And don't be afraid to create your own labels. I create my own labels. I create my own shipping stuff and all that good stuff. And I got my own packaging, and I send it out. So I'm glad you was able to get it so fast. That's
Yes, I love it. I use it. I do. And I shared it with Keon, but Keon almost didn't get one.
Uh-oh. And then the other thing that I have not bought out yet is my ginger shots. And this is something we do on a weekly basis in my household. I make jars and jars of the ginger shots. And so in the morning, my husband takes about 2 of those shots in the morning. And sometimes, according to however he feel or whatever, he might take another one at night. And these ginger shots is all natural. It's just I do the ginger, I slice it up and blend it up, and then I use lemon juice and purified water and honey. That's it.
And what does it do for the body?
It's very good for the body. It's very good for the body. I'm not. It actually keep you from getting sick.
We need that nowadays, coming out of the pandemic. And really, we're not truly in the pandemic, but COVID hasn't gone away.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't gone away. But there's so much benefits to having ginger in your body. It's crazy. So if you don't know about it, you need to get on that. Look it up. Ginger. It's good for the insides too. Digestion.
See, that's the best part about our friendship. She says, I got something else I haven't. I be like, girl, I'll try it.
I sent some out, but the thing is, I held myself back. Again, that's me. I held myself back. I sent some of the samples out to people, and they sent me testimonials and everything.
I didn't get one.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
I didn't get one. I'm jealous.
Sorry. I did not put my foot forward and get it out to the public. So that's on me. Great. That's on me. And I know it's a good thing. It's something I do every week. It's part of my meal prep plan on Sunday for the household. So it's getting done regardless. And I think people should have it. I held myself back. So
well, I am always one to help you out. If you want me to try it, I will try it. I am here for you, girl.
Okay.
Got you.
But yes, so everything is under, again, the St. Louis Enterprise LLC. But I'm just going to say it again. Don't, it's okay to have more than one avenue. It's okay to have different things going on. It's okay. Do you. I mean, do you. I mean, you have to do what you have to do as a caregiver, because in the state of Florida, you're not getting payments or anything from the state or anything like that. So do what you got to do for your income, for your household. So if you have different avenues, go for it. I
love that. So for our caregivers that are listening, do you define your own normal? Don't define it based on anybody else's normal. Do you?
Right. So shout out to mompreneurs everywhere.
I know that's right. Get it. Get it.
Right.
So what advice would you give your younger self to help cultivate self-trust?
Self-trust? What advice would I give myself?
The younger self. Not Juantia today, but maybe Juantia at 8. And before she became a teen. Before she turned 18. Before she turned 20. What would you tell her? What would you tell her? Believe in yourself.
You are more valuable than you think you are. Believe in yourself.
Yes. And for our young ladies that are listening, I always ask this question, all of my guests that are on the show, because I know there are emerging adults out there, young ladies is 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, and it's hard trying to find your way.
It is.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself. I'm telling you. And if you are not honing in on your talents or narrowing down exactly what you think you should be doing, it's okay. Because it took me a long time.
It took me a long time too.
It took me a long time to find who I was, what I was supposed to be doing. And at this age, I've made up my mind to be the person He made me to be, and that was creative. And so if I have to find a way creatively to bring in the income I need, then I'm going to go for it. And I'm not going to hold myself back anymore from doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's being that creative person He made me to be. So trust God. He knows what He's doing when He created you.
And on that note, there's nothing else I can say because I have chills and I'm almost like on the verge of tears. I'm not going to cry on my podcast. I'm not going to cry on my podcast.
I enjoy you. Don't do it.
Because it's so true. It's just so true. And on that note, Juantia, thank you for being a guest on the podcast. You are just a phenomenal woman, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So, me timers, she dropped some gems today, and I hope that you enjoyed the show and you enjoyed what we talked about today. And remember, this is Me Time with Mind Escape Vibe, where it is your time to be kind to your mind. You have a great day.